Well, hello and a very warm welcome, a very good morning and a very warm welcome to episode 4 of BA Fringe at the BA Summit Southern Africa. Can you believe the first day is over already? How it flew by with so many fantastic presentations, so many fantastic presentations to choose from. And I don't know about you, but I'm finding the conference to be really, really social. You know, even in this virtual world, the social is still there, it's just different. So I know there's a fantastic Zoom chat room that's open a little bit later on this morning. There's also the various message boards, but do also make good use of social media. If you've not already looked on your social media network of choice, I'd recommend you do so and look at the hashtag BASummitSA. I personally use LinkedIn and Twitter. There's a lot happening on there. So, you know, reach out to others who might not be at the conference. It's a great way of staying in touch. And as a reminder, there's an extra incentive for you to get active on social media, because one of the common threads through the BA Fringe at BA Summit SA is there's a competition. So you could win a free ticket to the BA Summit 2021 by sharing your favourite takeaway or your favourite conference moment. And all you need to do is on LinkedIn or Twitter, add your update with the hashtag BASummitSA and you're in with a chance of winning. As simple as that. Now, with competitions in mind, if you are at the conference, be sure to check out the sponsor booths as well. Now, there's a number of reasons for doing that. There's a bunch of free stuff on some of them. I was looking around yesterday, there's some really good stuff. Not only that, a number of the booths have competitions. And I was told that we have a black metric booth, obviously, and there's the chance of winning a 2,000 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher. And as of yesterday, less than a dozen people had entered. So like after this or after the keynote, go and have a look, because you've got a pretty good chance of winning it at the moment. It'll be a shame for it for you not to enter. So I hope you've been enjoying these live streams. I hope you've been enjoying them as much as we've been presenting them. Just before we move on to the first section, I want you to think, if you've seen a few of these live streams, like what word would you use to describe them? Right, and have that word in your head. If you're in the YouTube, if you're watching the YouTube, if you're watching the YouTube stream right now, you might even put that word in the comments. You know, I've described the BA Fringe as Okay, so put that word in the chat, right? So, if you're interested, Portsmouth Evening News business section describes us as quirky. So I can live with quirky. I've been called much worse things than that in my life, and I kind of like the quirkiness. I think that's kind of what we're going for. So we've got some fantastic content for you in this show. I am so pleased that our first guest agreed to join us. I saw this speaker's presentation yesterday and I was absolutely blown away. I thought it was on point. It was about such relevant stuff. So Khethelo Malinga gave a presentation yesterday entitled Leveraging IT to Navigate Through Uncertainty. And if you didn't see it live, like definitely it's one to go and check out the recording of. So Khethelo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I think you're on mute, Khethelo, so you will need to unmute. That's like the phrase of the century at the moment, isn't it? In these uncertain times. So Khethelo, in your presentation yesterday, one thing that really struck me is you talked about how technologies and tools have been helping in making the new normal easier to embrace. I was wondering, for anyone that didn't see your session, could you enlarge on that a little bit, or let us know what inspired you to talk about that?
All right, thank you so much for the question, and thank you to the guests for joining in. Welcome. So, in the world of uncertainty and ambiguity and complexity, one thing is for certain, which is change. Change has become the only constant. And you cannot unfortunately choose not to change. Change has become mandatory. The only choice that you do have is how you change and how you adapt to the change. And there are many ways to adapt to change. One of the ways to adapt to change is using or leveraging information technology through the uncertainty. And that's what my talk spoke of. It spoke of the technologies that have aided, especially the communication technologies, that have aided companies, or should I say organizations, leverage through the collaboration and the teamwork via social means. As you know, we were not able to go to work. People were not able to do what they call normal life in the normal way of doing things. So they've had to find better ways to do things. And technology has played a big role in aiding companies and even individuals to continue life as normal. And in some cases, technology has helped make life even simpler. If you think about it now, you're not in South Africa, but we're speaking as if you're here. So the benefits are definitely there.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that, I mean, a lot of the points in your presentation really resonated with me, but one thing that really resonated with me when you said it was like, if you don't adapt, then there's a chance you'll die. And that's true of organizations that don't adapt and keep up with the pace, but also as humans, if we don't keep up with the, I think you gave the example of the sanitation advice and hand washing, where you could actually be adversely affected by that. So there's almost like a similarity between evolution and safety of humans, and the same of organizations, I guess, keeping pace with that technology.
Yes, you have to be flexible.
Yeah, yeah. So I suppose one challenge is ensuring that IT is applied smartly, because on its own, technology is rarely going to help. It's going to need to fit in with the people, the processes, to really yield benefits. So do you have any advice, tips or thoughts on how we can use IT in the right way or the best way, rather than just using IT for IT's sake?
That's a very good question. And I think it's a common problem we face in many organizations where there's a lot of IT systems. And many teams also work in silos. We don't really tend to understand the problem well enough or holistic enough to find one solution or one problem. So we've got too many IT systems. So you just literally throw an IT solution at a problem and you assume it's going to work and solve this issue. Meanwhile, users are not using it. They're not finding user-friendly, et cetera, et cetera. So I think there's 4 key pillars you may potentially need to look at when you fix for problems that require IT solutions. One is that you need to have smart interactions. So whatever solution you're bringing about, it needs to enable smart interactions. Thereafter, it needs to enable smart platforms or channels. And then it also needs to enable smart processes. Processes are very important in solutioning. And then the last bit is smart security. You need to be able to work smartly with security so that people are safe and they feel safe using your platforms and solutions.
Yeah, that's a really important point as well, isn't it? Is actually there's the safety, but the feeling safe, that people feel it's trustworthy, that they can trust their data with whatever solution. So I suppose on that note, one question that I don't know if you find this, but I find a lot that often gets asked in the BA community is, well, how much technical knowledge should I have as a BA? You know, do I need to be a technical expert? Do I need to be technically agnostic, or somewhere in between? How much technical knowledge would you say we need as BAs?
So I think we've debated the soft skills enough. I think we know leadership and communication and emotional skills are definitely paramount in having organizational discussions and even growing the business. However, technical skills don't get debated enough, but I strongly feel they are equally as important as the soft skills. If you want, for instance, to speak one language, or 2 languages when you're bilingual, or 3 languages when you're multilingual, your interactions with people changes. You can have broader and deeper conversations with different people. The same applies with having technical skills. You need to be able to speak those different languages, whether they be networking, infrastructure, computing, or cloud computing, et cetera, being able to speak those conversations with those programmers, et cetera. You are now able to have much broader and deeper conversations and solution in a more holistic way. And also you won't be taken for a ride. So it's very important to understand technical knowledge as a BA.
Yeah, I love that, the common language, the shared understanding, and the not being taken for a ride. So very, very important. So Khethelo, without giving too much away to anyone who might not have seen your session, who's now, I'm sure, going to go back and look at the recording, but could you share maybe a tip or a takeaway, or a top tip from your presentation?
So a top tip from my presentation is embrace change. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. Sorry. But just understand the fact that it is coming, and it's coming at a fast pace, and you need to be able to be flexible, nimble, and fast to adapt to change. Learn. I saw Khethelo Malinga's talk yesterday. It was powerful. It spoke about learning and also unlearning. Embrace that. You won't know everything. Be open to learning and understand the fact that the world is changing at a fast pace. Adapt or die.
Absolutely, adapt or die. So fantastic, adapting to that change, staying flexible, nimble. Khethelo, thank you so much for joining us early this morning. I absolutely know that people will have got a huge amount from your presentation, and people I'm sure will want to stay in touch with you, follow you, find out more. What's the best way for people to get in touch or follow you?
So people can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. My name is Khethelo Malinga. You can email me at khethelo.malinga@gmail.com. So I think those are the two common ones I use.
Fantastic. Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us at the BA Summit, and for taking the time out this morning. Look forward to chatting to you further throughout the conference.
Thank you for having me, Adrian.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Fantastic. So some excellent takeaways there from Khethelo, and I know I have said this a few times already, but if you didn't see her presentation, really do. It's one of the many sessions that you won't want to miss by going and watching the recordings. And of course, the great thing about virtual conferences is we do have access to the recordings for a whole month. So, absolutely no excuse for not watching all of them. So one of the great things about the BA Fringe being live is we've got the opportunity to do some shout outs. And whilst I was presenting the last episode yesterday, the shout outs were coming in so thick and fast, I couldn't actually read out all of the shout outs that came in. So first of all, if you would like a shout out, get in quick, because we've only got this episode and one more before the end. But you can just go to bafringe.live, there's a short form, put it in. You can even upload a picture if you've got something you want us to show on screen. But I've just got a couple of shout outs to do now. Lalitha says, shout out to all those behind the scenes that have contributed to the success of the BA Summit. +1 to that, I'd add to the speakers as well, who really, really make the summit and so on. And Jake says, I want to say a big shout out to my mentor and senior colleague, Bula Adesobi. He is speaking today, and he has had a huge impact on my career and professional life. So fantastic, and what a great way to say thank you to a colleague there. So keep those shout outs coming in. We will cover as many as we possibly can. Okay, so that moves us on to the next item. Have you ever wondered, or have you ever felt perhaps a little bit stressed in the thick of a project or program? Probably even more so, lockdown is probably placing other pressures on us all, and lockdown and COVID has had different effects on us all differently for different reasons. And maybe you've heard of mindfulness and have wondered what that might have to offer. Well, Kathy Berkidge is giving a presentation later today on mindfulness and the mindful BA, and I would thoroughly recommend checking that out. But Kathy agreed to give us a bit of a preview today. So Kathy, over to you.
Hi everyone, it's Kathy Berkidge here. With all that's been happening in the world recently, that virus, I've been doing a lot of reflecting. And the other day I realised that I've been practicing mindfulness almost as long as I've been a BA, and that's over 20 years. So in that time, I've noticed a lot of different benefits for me personally. I'd say mindfulness has really helped me be a better BA and a better coach, because I also do a lot of coaching these days. So one thing I've noticed is dealing with stress is easier. BAs are often in stressful situations with multiple projects, lots of tasks to be done, difficult stakeholders, and just the pressure to get stuff done and deliver, and of course to be innovative. So these are things BAs deal with all the time, but I found that mindfulness hasn't reduced these difficult situations, not at all. Mindfulness can't change what's happening on the outside, but what's happening on the inside is certainly what I find has helped me. I feel I'm more calm, I'm more able to deal with it, I respond with patience, I respond more carefully rather than reacting and snapping at people, which can really, destroy our calm and our focus. So I find that mindfulness particularly helps me let go and not rehash things over and over in your mind, because that's what causes more stress. I can kind of move on from things easier. Mindfulness also enables me to remain focused, no matter how boring that spreadsheet is, or that challenging process flow when you can't get the boxes to line up and the arrows, or even just that painful meeting. You know that meeting. Distractions are always going to be there, and you might want to be avoiding what you're doing now, but mindfulness helps me stay focused and concentrate and really get stuff done. But most importantly, mindfulness has really helped me be more present for my stakeholders. Whether I'm in a workshop or a meeting or an interview, I can really stay present and listen. And I mean truly, really listen to my stakeholders rather than be distracted or not really focused, or, my mind's busy with that inner voice, that inner chatter, preparing what I'm going to say next, or maybe I'm jumping into solution mode, making assumptions. Mindfulness lets me let go of that and really stay present. More than once I've had stakeholders come up to me after we've been in a session and said, "Gee, Kathy, thank you. I really felt heard." When was the last time you felt heard, right? I believe mindfulness has helped me build better relationships. There's many other benefits of mindfulness that people have reported: increased creativity, calm, even physiological health benefits. There are more than 5,000 scientifically researched, peer-reviewed papers on mindfulness. Of course, I'm not going to lead you to all of them. A quick Google, you'll find them. But don't take my word for it, and don't read the research. Do it for yourself and see if you notice any benefit. See if the best way you can learn whether mindfulness is for you is not by reading about it or watching videos, but by practicing yourself. There seems to be some sort of myth that you need to be some sort of special practice or a lot of time, or you have to sit with your ankles behind your ears in full lotus position, or you need some sort of spiritual guru. No. Mindfulness can be done in as little as 10 seconds, or anything, of course, greater than that is great. But you can even go and take a real serious retreat and do, a couple of days or a couple of weeks of hardcore mindfulness practice. Probably not for the beginner. So let's do a quick mindfulness practice together. Please do give it a go. Try to join in with me and play along. I'll explain as we go. So the number one instruction above everything else is to please just remain calm and relaxed. There's nothing special here, nothing out of the ordinary. Just remain calm. So let's start. So first thing, in your current position, whether you're sitting, standing, or lying down, or anything in between, first thing is to just relax your body. Do a quick scan and check that all your muscles are relaxed, from your face, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, ribs, abdomen, legs, feet, hands, shoulders. Just kind of quickly check, are your muscles relaxed? I find it's my jaw that tends to not be relaxed, so I have to kind of deliberately, relax. And the next thing is to close your eyes. You don't have to, but it helps. I'm not going to, just so you can see my eyes in this, but it might help for you to relax your eyes. Now let's just take 3 nice deep breaths, fully, slowly, deeply. Nothing special, just 3 breaths. In and out. Simple 3 breaths. And with each breath, just try to relax those muscles in your body a little bit more fully. And in and out. So now, with a nice relaxed mind and relaxed body, just bring all your attention to the sensation of breathing. Just pay full attention to your breath. Whether it's the feeling of the air moving in and out of your nostrils and mouth, whether it's with the rise and fall of your abdomen, or your chest and your lungs expanding in and out. With every breath, just fully pay attention to the simple process of breathing. Nothing else. No need to change a thing. Just your natural breath, your natural rhythm, in and out. And just focus on that sensation of breathing. Natural, calm, relaxed. Now, when your mind wanders or thoughts come up or you're distracted, it's okay. It's quite normal. It happens to everyone. Just acknowledge, okay, I've been thinking, I've had a distraction. Now gently, with no stress, let those thoughts and distractions go and just come back to the breath and experience that breath that's with us all day long that we barely recognize. And that's it. That's all a mindfulness practice needs to be, as short as what we've just practiced. It's not about not having thoughts. It's not about not being distracted. It's about noticing your thoughts and noticing your distractions and bringing your focus back over and over again to the breath each time you're distracted. I hope you've enjoyed this very brief mindfulness practice. There are many apps, podcasts, YouTube videos, and websites for more info and guided meditation. There are literally thousands of different types. Find one that suits you. Try them all. Find one that suits your particular style or what you prefer. Thanks for having me on BA Fringe as part of the BA Summit Southern Africa. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy your day. Bye for now.
Well, fantastic. I don't know about you, but I feel a lot more centered and focused and relaxed after that. I was really fortunate. I first met Kathy, I think, a year or two ago. And I always say to her, she gave me I say it a little bit more graphically than this, but she gave me the kick that I needed to really start to just take some time out to think and, to be a bit more mindful. It's very easy, isn't it, to go from one thing to the next. And you might find, for example, that after the conference, you've got all of this good learning, all of the fantastic stuff over 2 days, and then you open your inbox and you get drawn into that busy work. So, do, of course, attend Kathy's session, and if you can't attend it live, look, watch it on catch up. And I did see in the YouTube comments, and my eyes aren't good enough to see the names of who said it, but someone made the suggestion that actually schedule the recordings, schedule when you're going to look at the recordings, because otherwise you get drawn into work, and maybe think about mindfulness as well. One other thing I wanted to say before closing, a challenge I think we should all set ourselves is, you will have seen a whole bunch of folks speak at this conference. And it's really easy to somehow see ourselves as separate from those that speak. But one of the things I personally really value about the BA community is it's not like that. It's not like a sage on the stage speaking to a sort of community. It's much more of a peer amongst a peer, and speaking to a community of peers. And with that in mind, one challenge we might all want to think about is, well, hang on a minute, what presentation am I going to submit next year? What presentation are you going to submit next year for BA Summit? And if that sounds really scary, well, it doesn't have to be. That the team are always, I know from experience, very, very supportive. And also you might think, well, hang on a minute, I don't want to wait that long. I want to have a bit of experience speaking before that. So BA Fringe, at the moment you're watching BA Fringe at BA Summit. BA Fringe, we're actually making a monthly event. And that means that if you wanted to just dip your toe in the water with speaking, you maybe wanted to do like a 12-minute interview, or maybe you wanted to pre-prepare like a 5 to 7 minute video just to see how things go. well, there is absolutely the opportunity to do that on a future episode of BA Fringe. So please do get in touch with me. You can go to the Black Metric booth at the conference. You can leave a comment on YouTube. You'll find me. I'm very easy to find on social media. So please do get in touch if you'd like to feature, and certainly we will give you every support in that if you would like to. And do think about submitting to BA Summit next year, or the conference that's in wherever in the world you happen to be. So all that's left for me to say is that our next episode is at 12:40, and it will be the final episode of BA Fringe at BA Summit Southern Africa, so please don't miss that. Do remember, if you want any final shout outs in that episode, we will have time for just a few. So all you need to do if you want a final shout out is go to bafringe.live, a little form for you to fill in there, and we will get as many shout outs read out in the final episode, whether that's a celebration to a colleague, a thank you to someone that's done something, or whatever takeaway you want to share. But now you need to close your YouTube window and go and see the keynote. And if you're still listening, you need to close the window now, because it starts in like 3 minutes. So you've still got time to grab a coffee before the keynote. So the opening keynote will be Analyzing Trust, Developing a Deeper Understanding of What It Means to Be a Trusted Advisor by Brennan Jacoby. So thank you so much for watching, but don't wait for the credits. Close YouTube now, go and see the keynote. See you there.